How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. The bye week is over with. It's time to get back to business. That week is here. Oh yes, it's Notre Dame, Michigan week. I don't need to explain to any of you how big this game is. The Notre Dame-Michigan rivalry is hands down one of the biggest, if not the biggest, rivalry in all of college football, depending on who you ask. This game is not big for the Irish just because it's a rivalry. It's big for us because of, obviously, the playoff implications, but a major bowl bid in general. But it's also a big game for us because it gives us the opportunity to head back out on the road, up to Ann Arbor, and beat a team in a hostile environment. We had that chance already down in Athens against Georgia. Let that one slip away. So this is our chance to, make amends for that, for lack of a better term. And beating a pretty good Michigan team in Ann Arbor at the Big House, which the Big House, we all know how much of a ruckus environment that can be, how loud it can get. There's a reason that the Irish haven't won there since 2005. Came close a couple of times in that time period, but the breaks just didn't go our way. But yeah, similar situation to the Georgia game. We have a chance to earn some respect here and make up for that. Now, Michigan, they have a couple of defeats on their record. The first time was a slaughter by Wisconsin, and honestly, Wisconsin set up the game plan of how to beat these guys, but I'll get to that in a second. And then, of course, they're coming off a tough loss to Penn State last week, and I got to give Michigan credit. They gave the Nittany Lions all they could handle in that one. They made the Nittany Lions earn every bit of that victory. Penn State gets off to the fast start. Michigan comes crawling back, has a chance to tie the game at the end. Things just didn't happen the way they wanted it to. But it was a pretty good game. Breaking Michigan down, they're, of course, led by their quarterback, Shea Patterson, who we got to see in South Bend last year. He's not a bad quarterback, having a pretty solid season this year. But hands down, the receiving core, Ronnie Bell and Peoples-Jones, those are the two guys that stand out to me. Very talented guys, can go up and get the ball real fast. And then they have their running back, how do you say his name? Chardonnay or something like that. Had a nice little game against Penn State last week, put up a little over 80 yards on the ground. I think he did get into the end zone once. So yeah, this is a team that has a lot of firepower on offense, but on defense, they're no slouch there either. They know how to bring the pressure. They know how to step their game up, especially in the big ones. So, with that said, and what I've seen of Michigan so far, this is how I can see the game going down. If the Irish want to win this one, and like I mentioned not too long ago, Wisconsin kind of laid the groundwork on how to beat Michigan. Got to establish a run game, okay? Wisconsin found a way to do it, and granted, Wisconsin, they get these big hosses on their offensive line all the time, it seems like, so they're able to pull that off. Now, is our offensive line capable of doing that? Absolutely. We had what was it that we had as a team rushing against USC? I think we had like over 350 yards rushing as a team. Yeah, our O-line is capable of doing that as well. But that's where it starts, in the trenches. Got to win the battle there. Our offensive linemen have got to open up the holes, and we have to establish a running game against this Michigan defense. You do that, takes a lot of pressure off of Ian Book. And it also helps that Jafar Armstrong is back. I'm not exactly sure how much playing time he's going to get in this one, because he's only 2 weeks off from actually 3 weeks with the bye week from his injury. But if he gets a significant workload, then that'll definitely help us establish a run game in this one. Him and Tony Jones, Sebo Flemister, Kieran Williams, Jameer Smith, gives us a lot of opportunity there to establish one. But it all starts with those hog mollies up front. They got to open up the holes. If also Ian Book, again, He had a little setback in the USC game. Can't happen in this one. He has got to stay calm. All right? Don't make any silly throws. No turnovers. Stay calm in the pocket and just sling the son of a bitch. And honestly, I've been going back and forth on the offensive strategy in this one. In my opinion, step back, let it fly all game long. That's a good plan of attack. I mean, that's what Penn State did a lot of, and it worked. But the main thing is establishing a running game and taking a lot of that pressure off Ian Book. That's the best strategy that I think will help the Irish in this one. That's the one that I think they should go with. Establish that running game any way that you can. And hey, as the old saying goes, if you can't go through them, go around. Whether that's, jet sweeps, pitches, whatever. But yeah, that's the main thing that has to happen is we have to establish a run game. Take pressure off Ian Book. But at the same time, giving Michigan some credit here, as good as that front seven is, Ian Book might have to put a lot of the load on his shoulders. So in that case, if that happens, he's got to be ready for it. And if that means throwing the ball 30 or 40 times, then you do what you got to do. Even more reason to stay calm. But I could definitely see this game being a battle of the defenses here. I mean, like I said, Michigan has their weapons, but another good thing, too, is our defense. In the secondary, we're getting Sean Crawford back from his shoulder injury. So that's going to be a big, much-needed boost to that defensive backfield. And, yeah, I could easily see this being a battle of the defenses, too. But I think our defense is up to the test. I think we're able to go toe-to-toe with Ronnie Bell and Peoples-Jones, and our front seven, they've been getting better and better week in and week out. And if we get the pressure on Shea Patterson, it's going to be a long day for him. But I think both teams and both sides of the ball, I think a lot of it is going to even itself out. So I see a pretty balanced game here. So, with that said, and all my maybe somewhat incoherent rambling, I see this overall being a close game. I think the Irish are going to win. Would you guys expect me to say anything else? Of course not. But the Irish win this one. It's definitely going to be by one score. I think I forget what the spreads are right now, but I think it's a good chance that it could be covered. But I could see this game easily coming down to being a tie game in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes, Irish have the ball, and scoring the go-ahead touchdown. Wouldn't surprise me if that happened. But, of course, I would love to see us just go in there and just kick ass all over the place. But I'm keeping myself grounded here. Michigan's a better team than that. So that's the thing. You can never underestimate your opponent no matter how big or how small. So my final score prediction for this one, Notre Dame 34, Michigan 27. Irish get that late touchdown to go ahead to... They get the late go-ahead touchdown to go on and win the game. That's how I see this one going down. So Notre Dame 34, Michigan 27. Irish win a big one up in Ann Arbor, and we just keep cruising right along for the rest of the season. And just hopefully we can catch a few breaks and other teams can help us out and we move up in the rankings and so on and so forth. You guys get where I'm going with this. So, on that note, everyone, this is ND Sean 45 signing off. God bless, and as always, go Irish, beat Michigan.